Okay, I hope this will work. Does it still work like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I gotta get my little cheat sheet out. All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day and President's Day weekend to all of you.
Yeah.
Same to you. It's great to see you all out here. Very excited about what's going to happen. I first have just some thank yous I need to express. Some huge thanks to the City of East Jordan for rolling out the red carpet for this event. And specifically, I want to thank Mary Fakulek with the East Jordan Chamber of Commerce, Mark Penzing, that put together the sound system, who's supposed to be here, but as you probably know, he also runs the funeral home, so he's a little busy today. And then Dale, Chief of Police, who was out here at 7 o'clock this morning, fine-tuning my beautiful snow stage with stairs. Totally impressed. Oh, there's Mark. Hey, Mark, we figured it out. And then a couple of introductions. Probably some of you, or hopefully all of you who've been to our little table here have met Chris and Peter. Chris Varner is on my board of directors with Wings of Wonder, and she's married to Peter Romeo. And so he also helps out at Wings of Wonder. Jim Manley, my right-hand guy here at my car, has been my slave for about, 9 years. We're still talking. So they're here, and friends Jan and Jay, who also have the orange vests on, that are helping with crowd control, and Jay likes to be known as the bouncer. And passing around carrying around our donation boxes, and we really ask you to be generous and donate so that we can do more eagle releases. My name is Rebecca Lessard, and I'm the founder and the director of Wings of Wonder, which is a nonprofit organization located down near the village of Empire, so it's west of Traverse City. A nice hour-and-a-half drive from here. It's a lovely drive to get here. At Wings of Wonder, we work exclusively with raptors. We have a multifaceted mission. We do lots of educational programs with raptors. We have 11 raptors in our educational family that travel to these programs. All of those raptors have permanent disabilities, so they can't be released to the wild. So they're our ambassador crew, and they are worth more than their weight in gold. We also do rehabilitation, which is why we're here. We admit sick, injured, and orphaned raptors with the goal of releasing healthy individuals back out into the wild. And we do that with the help of many veterinarians around the area. And we just happen to have the veterinarian here who tended to the big girl who you're going to meet in just a minute, Pam Graves. Where's Pam? There's Pam. Pam is an amazing veterinarian. Works at a Jess's Vet Clinic in Petoskey. And I feel really blessed to have her as our crew, and I swear she can bring eagles back from the dead. So I'm really glad that she's here, because she does not get out very much. So I'm going to make this really brief because we're all cold and we want to get the show on the road, and then a bunch of us are going to Murray's for lunch, so come join us. I hear that's a really good place to eat in town. So this bald eagle that you're going to meet, she's about a 3.5-year-old bird. She's what we would call immature. She's kind of like one of those cocky teenagers. And so she's full grown, and she has some white on her head and some white on her tail, but she's not sexually mature yet. So she's one of the teenage gang members that flies around. So, and I think that she's probably 3.5 because of the amount of brown on her head and tail. Plus, she still has a dark beak. So she's really beautiful. You'll all get a really good look at her before we release her. So on December 16th of 2013, Bob Knoll So if any of you people that I list your name, if you're here, wave your hand. Bob Knoll observed an eagle perched in a tree above a deer kill. At 1:45, Nancy Sanderson reports to Glenn McEwen that there's an eagle alongside the road acting strangely. At 1:50, Rick Dietrich leaves a phone message to Glenn about an eagle in trouble alongside the road. And at 2 o'clock, the eagle is rescued by Glenn McEwen. Glenn is a dear friend of mine. He's from this area. He's an amazing artist and has worked with raptors in the past. So Glenn contacted me. And by then, it was about 3 o'clock when I got the call from Glenn. So I asked Glenn to just hold on to the eagle. It was quite apparent the eagle had been hit by a car. There was a big divot in the snow where she was thrown from the impact of the car. And so Glenn kept her overnight. And then I made the appointment the next day to have Glenn bring her to Jensen's Vet Clinic, where she was seen by the amazing Pam Graves. So Pam did a series of x-rays on her. Amazingly, there were no fractures, no broken bones, but the bird was really, really favoring her left side. I thought it was the right, but Pam corrected me. And so the thought was that she possibly had a cracked pelvis, which was not showing up on an x-ray, but we were really concerned, especially with it being a female bald eagle. You know what cracked pelvis is because it interferes with egg laying. So, but no fractures were seen. So the following day on the 18th, I came up to Petoskey and I picked up the eagle from Jensen's Vet Clinic. And she was officially admitted to Wings of Wonder. So she was in our intensive care unit for about 4 days. And she would kind of stand a little bit, but then lay back down because she was obviously in pain. But after 4 days, she was getting a little tired of being in intensive care and getting to be kind of a handful. So I put her outside into a small flight pen, an 8 by 12 foot flight pen that I had backfilled with about 8 inches or 10 inches of dried white pine needles. So she had this really soft bed, and she just nestled down in that, and it helped to take any weight off of her hip and her leg, but then she could still open her wings. And I put a little mat next to her, put her food on it, which she was a really picky eater. Required me to hand feed her. Teenager. So after, let's see, so she was moved outside on December 22nd, and 11 days later, she was finally up on her feet and actually getting up on some perches. So I moved her to our large flight pen, which is 100 feet long. And she flew across the pen and was very delicate about her landings because she was still really sore and was kind of limping. And when she landed on a perch and needed to turn around, she was really careful about not putting a lot of weight on that hip. But she was stretching that leg and really working those muscles and, flying and gaining strength. And that's what brought us now to today. She's totally ready to go. Up until about a week and a half ago, I was telling people, oh, she's the sweetest eagle. I can get really close to her, and she's just nice to what we call the furniture in the flight pens, all the perches and all the perch wraps. She was not messing with those, but she sort of changed over the last week. And she's really gotten rambunctious. She was a little kind of a challenge to capture this morning, but I still have all my fingers and no bloody spots on me. But she's a handful now because she's aerobically conditioned, she's physically fit, and she wants to go free. So that's what brought us here today. She's been on a diet, she continued her picky ways, where most bald eagles will eat fish, and I have an unlimited amount of free fish, because I have charter fishermen in my area who donate fish. Well, this is the first bald eagle I've ever had in rehab who will not eat fish. But it's my fault, because I introduced her to quail and to rabbits. So she's sort of enjoyed living at the resort and eating like, steak, high-end food. And I'm really happy to see her go because she's an expensive patient. So, again, donate your money into those boxes. Typically, a bald eagle is about $5,000 to rehab to release. Wow. Now, we haven't had her as long. Her intensive care wasn't as long, but, her food bill totally made up for that. So, we need to replace the coffers so that we can provide 4 more eagles into the future and hopefully bring them back up here. So, please donate generously, okay? So, this is the way it's going to happen, is the bird is in a travel crate in my car. I'm going to get the bird out. I'm going to first parade it past these vans because these seniors here cannot get out of the van and we want to give them an opportunity to see the bird. And I'm delighted that they were able to come. Then I'm going to walk her up this chute, and so the people on either side of these cones are going to be able to get their pictures first. And I ask that you guys in the front, after you've gotten your pictures, you could kind of move back so other people could come up to the front. Then I'm going to walk up these really beautiful snow stairs that were made for me and come up here, and you guys can all come in close and get your pictures. And I can keep turning around a little bit, so I'll do that as long as we need to do it, as long as I can hold on to her. And then we're going to probably part you guys aside here, and I'm going to release her in this direction. And we'll do a proud 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And off she'll go. So it gives you a little bit more time to jockey into position for a good picture. All right, are there any questions? Does she have a name? Well, well, we have some names for eagles that we can't say in public. But, Glenn McCune was calling her the windshield girl. So we've already had a bird named Wendy before, so I've been calling her Sheila. But I did ask the school kids here a couple of months ago. I was talking with the superintendent of the school, and I said, put it out to the schools if the kids want to do a challenge. And I didn't hear back. So, if you want, a $100 bill, you can name the eagle. Or we can have a bidding war.
And I take credit cards.
And we take credit cards, yeah. So if anybody wants to name her with a $100 bill, happy to accommodate that one.
Rebecca!
Yeah.
I want to name her.
I'm Mark's gonna name her!
And actually, I want to name her Rebecca.
Oh!
That's sweet.
You're part of our community now.
Name after me. Well, I should have said she's the nicest bald eagle I've ever had. Oh, weekly now. All right. Well, thank you, Mark. Anybody else have any questions or anything? Did we ban her? I don't ban any of my birds prior to release, which totally goes against my biology degree and all the research and everything. But this is my reason, is we've admitted some bald eagles in the past that have had bands on their legs, and these bands have been mangled, and we've had to actually cut them off the bird. And I just don't really support putting up extra things on wild animals because it's going to get snagged. And it's a big metal band, and my goal is to release them so they're perfect in aerobic condition, and I know they're going to do fine. So I don't band. Also, I'm not a bander. I have a master bander in my area who would band, but the federal law is that we cannot band a rehab bird until right before release. And it's another opportunity for injury because these birds want to go. So I do not band. Yeah. Yeah. So it's all about me. So. Anybody else?
Yeah.